Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a quick look at and installing the 5-star Rev-X by SCT Tuner with 3 custom tunes available for the 15 and newer 3.5L EcoBoost F150, excluding the Raptor model. You're getting 3 custom tunes in 87, 91, and 93. Those tunes have been specifically modified for your particular 3.5, which is a really big advantage to a custom tune rather than one of those preloaded tuners, which might save you a little bit of money, but this is how you really maximize the power of your 3.5. We're going to take a baseline run on the dyno with our 16 with 93 in the tank. Full disclosure guys, we do have completely stock under the hood, but we also have 34-inch tires which do come into play, so there are a couple of variables that might differ from your situation, but nonetheless I want to show you guys the before and afters. So from the factory, we're looking at about 321 horsepower, 351 foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheels. Pretty good numbers stock with just some octane in the tank. We then of course uploaded our 93 octane tune from 5-star, and we walked away with 367 horsepower and 392 foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheels. Peak gains, we're looking at about 45 horsepower, 42 foot-pounds of torque at peak. Now that's really impressive. That's what we expect with these EcoBoosts. They make really good numbers. Under the curve, however, we're looking at really good top-end curve gains. Now typically with the EcoBoost, you would see a huge spike down low at about 4K. We're actually seeing the biggest gains around 5,800 RPMs. Biggest gains of about 84 horsepower, 75.1 foot-pounds of torque under the curve. That's insane. Top end power here is really impressive with the 5-star tune. Now with this particular tuner, 5-star has let me know that they focused their attention on a couple of different key areas. First and foremost, drivability and reliability are their top priority. There's a couple of other aspects of the factory tune and factory strategies that they do alter in order to gain more power in every octane level and across the RPM band. The factory fuel strategies have a long delay timer at wide open throttle before adding additional fuel. They also have a really laggy and conservative feel, which is definitely something you'll feel in your 3.5, and 5-star tackles that in order to dump just a little bit more fuel at wide open throttle in order to eliminate those delay timers, and of course give you a little bit more fuel at the top end, a little bit more power at the top end. In addition to that, the drive-by-wire delay is a huge problem for the 3.5. You have a really noticeable lag at the bottom end, which definitely delays some of that low-end torque. Reducing and even eliminating that is a goal of 5-stars. That is a critical area that they focus their attention on in order to give you that low-end torque and a better throttle response, just to really wake up the 3.5. Your rev limiter, speed limiter, and output shaft limiters are all slightly increased to a safe limit while also keeping the factory Ford fail-safes in check, like your knock sensors and knock strategies. Those are all really important fail-safes to keep in mind in order to have a safe calibration, something built into those 5-star tunes. As far as timing, 5-star tackles that in order to add timing and spark to a lot of key areas of the RPM band in order to net more power. Well, like I said, keeping those fail-safes in check. Your torque converter is locked sooner and left locked longer at light cruising speeds in order to help with fuel economy, so that's kept in mind as well. But you're also gaining respectable numbers with lower octane fuels as well, so it's not all about the 93 tune, right? There's one more thing I want to mention. Driving modes. Driving modes are also altered. Your daily driving mode is going to be altered from 4th through 6th gear simply because you're going to be hitting those higher gears like 4th through 6th at lower speeds. You typically hit 6th between 30 and 38 miles per hour with the 6-speed in your 3.5, which just can leave long delays for downshifting. It can really just eat up and feel sluggish and laggy in your 3.5, and those tunes are modified in order to make daily driving just a little bit more fun. Sport mode is something guys will be able to take advantage of with this tune from like 2nd through 5th gear, so instead of it kicking in at wide open throttle, you can take advantage of that mode and the torque band at the lower RPMs. Tow haul mode strategies in the 5-star tune is also altered because the guys towing and hauling heavier loads, even upwards of 5,000 pounds and above, will have a little bit of trouble with downshifting and engine braking with the V6s because they're not the same as the V8s. Having the tow haul mode changed up in your tune will enhance the RPMs to stay elevated longer, requiring a little bit less downshifting and being easier on the engine braking in your V6, having a noticeable increase in impact through 2nd through 5th gear. About $450 will get you what you see here, along with a USB cable to load and unload tunes on your computer. You're also gonna get an OBD2 harness to plug it right in under the dashboard to get to flashing on your 3.5. 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter here. It'll take you guys 15, maybe 20 minutes at the most, but that's about all it takes to get your vehicle flashed. All right guys, first step of the process here, of course, plug in your Rev-X device using the OBD2 connector. provided for you in the kit. Plug it into your OBD2 under the driver's side dash of your EcoBoost. It'll take you up to the main menu, and the first thing I want to show you guys is how to just flash your vehicle. Simple as that. Go to Program Vehicle. It's your first option in the menu, highlighted in red there. You hit Select. From there, just verify your VIN number. Looks good to me. Confirm. Now, if you're not already connected to Wi-Fi on your device, it'll prompt you to connect. I definitely recommend doing that, checking for updates, so on and so forth, making sure you have a good connection there. The next step, once you do connect, it'll prompt you for Cloud Sync. Now, if 5-Star has sent to you your tunes via the cloud, you will need to connect to the cloud in order to sync those onto your device. Now, we've already manually installed those tunes to our device on the computer using our USB cord, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that. We've got ours already loaded up here, so I'm gonna hit skip. It gives you a prompt just letting you know it's not legal for use or sale in California or pollution-controlled motor vehicles. Accept that. Make sure your key is on the on position, but the engine is not started. That's crucial. Wait for 2 to 3 seconds, then hit continue. Keep in mind, guys, out of the box, you're getting 3 custom tunes to select. On our device, we're only gonna have 93 because that's all we're showing you guys in this video, so that's all I moved onto our device. But for you, you'll have those 3 options. For us, we're just gonna go forward with 93. From here, it'll give you the option to change some of the parameters of the tune. Things as simple as rear gear ratio, tire size, speed limiter, rev limiter, so on and so forth. I don't want to go in and change any of those. I just want to show you guys that file sent to us from 5-Star, so we're not going to make any modifications, but if you see that fit for your particular situation, that option is there. I'm going to move over and hit skip. Confirm that that's what we want. At this point, it'll save a stock file, your stock tune, from Ford onto your device so you can revert back to stock at any point in the future. For you guys that are already done that part, or once you see this load all the way through, it'll then move into tuning the 93 octane tune. It'll load from 0 to 100 a couple of times, and it might even prompt you to turn your key off and on at certain points, so just pay attention to the tuner every now and then. Might take a little bit longer than you may expect the first time around at least. Let it load from 0 to 100 as many times as it needs to in order to tune, and then we'll come back and we'll be complete. At this point, it'll clear all the DTC codes, prompt you to turn your key off. So you want to do that. Turn your key in the on position once it prompts you to do that. At that point, it'll make its final changes to the processor, prompt you that programming is complete. You can unplug your device and you're good to go. Taking you guys through the first function, other than actually tuning your vehicle, right underneath is gauges and data log. This is going to be really useful for the guys out there looking to monitor their engine vitals on the fly and keep track of their engine performance while also keeping track of a data log. Now, you're going to make sure your key is in the on position, which it is. Hit continue, and you'll be given a ton of different options on how to track those engine vitals. Before we move forward, it'll ask you to select your particular years. So Ford gas, 08 or newer, we're working with a 16, it's gas, it's not a diesel, so we're gonna select that. It'll scan your data log files, throw you into the menu. The vehicle isn't actually on, so we're not gonna track any boost, there isn't any PSI, but it gives you the opportunity to track some of these on the fly. Now, if we had our car on, running, this is where you can take a look at that. You can hit to the right, select your gauge layout, and you can monitor up to 8 different vitals at once. Selecting a new gauge layout will show you a ton more options. You can select, change the item. So this was boost in PSI. We can change that to air intake temp. Hit approve. Now the top left is air intake temperature. So really useful stuff for guys who want to know this on the fly. It's really important stuff for the guys looking to make a lot more power, who might want to track their boost, who might want to track their temperatures, air fuel ratios, so on and so forth. Something to keep in mind. You can start and stop recording data. You can upload this to the cloud, and I'll show you guys how that works in just a second. So you can send that to and from your tuner to make improvements on the fly. So we're gonna go back, stop data logging, and it'll take us back to the main menu. Vehicle functions is another really good option to have in the Rev-X device. Anytime a check engine light pops up, you can read the DATC code, diagnostic trouble code, and you can clear them. That's really good, really useful info. You don't have to go to an AutoZone to have it read. You don't have to use a different device. You don't have to purchase another device or go to Ford and pay for diagnostics. You can just plug that in and read what that code is and have a full description of it right there with the code number. Vehicle info. Turn your key on, you'll be given that information including your VIN number, your strategy code, ECU code, so on and so forth. All of that is kept on your device. When it's plugged in, it'll read that right along for you. Device info, very similar. It's gonna read your device name, your app name, device part number, serial number. Good things to have when requesting new tunes as well. Finally, device settings. Check for updates. That is gonna require Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is another option down here. Another thing that you'll need when using the cloud file sync. Once you're connected to Wi-Fi, you'll be able to access the cloud if your tuner is sending you new files or if you're sending files back to the tuner, including data log. You can upload your data log to the cloud, sending that to your tuner. They can make revisions if necessary. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up my review and install for the 5-star Rev-X by SCT Tuner with the 3 custom tunes. If you wanted to pick up these 3 tunes from 5-star with the Rev-X Tuner, you can do so right here at AmericanTrucks.com.